welcome to Left Night with Kendra Dawsey. And now, here's your host, Kendra Dawsey.
Hey everyone, how's it going? How's your week been, Zach?
It's been good. I've been recovering from the injuries we got on QAW last week. I really thought we could go in the ring with no training and beat them, but I guess it's not that easy.
I know, right? I had to break out my makeup to cover my black eye. Diamond really beat me.
Yeah, and it seems unfair that Wellington has those metal arms.
I know, right?
There should be a rule against that.
There should be. I'm calling the QAW Wrestling Federation Committee.
Well, other than the injuries sustained in a fictional wrestling organization, what else is on your mind this week?
Well, there's a lot on my mind this week, Zach, and I'm sure there's a lot on the minds of everyone viewing at home. Tragedy has struck again in Minneapolis. Last week, 20-year-old Daunte Wright was shot and killed by former police officer Kim Potter during a routine traffic stop, sparking a resurgence of protests throughout Minneapolis and other cities across the nation. This is yet another story of extrajudicial killings and police brutality that has come to the surface. But there are many people who died at the hands of police who have yet to be named. We at Left Night send our condolences to Daunte Wright's family and loved ones. Now, in a society where we didn't have near constant propaganda, whether in the form of internet campaigns or friendly sitcoms starring Andy Samberg, it would be incredibly apparent that the police aren't the best at their job. If sanitation workers as a profession wound up in the news every week because they killed yet another innocent person throwing out garbage, there would be no question about why that is bad. And yet, in the great land of America, where you are free to die in a myriad of ways by the hands of police, countless citizens defend officers by denigrating the character of the victim or through bizarre rationalizations of the police officer's actions. But a very simple solution would be to have maybe less police with less weapons, or even no police at all. Here on Left Night, we are going to talk about breaking that piggy bank open and defunding the police. I know that the target Left Night audience is going to be on board with defunding the police, so this next segment is for those of you who aren't our usual viewers. Maybe you saw me or Zach tweet about the show and you're watching in a misguided attempt to own the libs or make fun of my teeth. Maybe you are the FBI agent assigned to spy on us. Maybe you're my mom. Regardless, we'll get into reasons to defund the police. If you are not our usual viewer, you might say, what do activists and organizers mean when they say defund the police? That's not very clear. Well, defund the police means give the police less money. There are lots of reasons people may come to this conclusion. The first is lots of things that are criminalized, like drug use, petty theft, or homelessness, are actually symptoms of a lack of social support and poverty. The existence of the police doesn't stop people from selling or using drugs, but what would actually help those individuals would be social services aimed at harm reduction, not a trigger-happy guy from the suburbs screaming in your face. If we reallocated some of the funds currently used in police departments towards a stronger public health system, maybe we could actually help people instead of sending them to jail and attempt to disappear our social problems. In addition, it doesn't make sense for police to respond to mental health crises. 1 in 4 people who are killed by police have severe mental illness. And again, a man with a gun yelling in your face is probably not going to calm you down if you are suffering from a manic episode. Last but not least, and maybe this is a little to the left of common discourse, but allowing a profession which has repeatedly been shown to have a high amount of white supremacists and fascists to have a disproportionate access to guns and weaponry usually does not turn out well, no matter how many times they play basketball with some black kids for good PR. If you're not our usual viewer, you might say, there are rapists and murderers in the world. Who will catch them? The answer is, they aren't being caught right now. 1/3 of murders in the US go unsolved completely. No one knows who murdered who, et cetera, et cetera. And in cities like Chicago, the type of city conservatives love to use as evidence of a place that really needs cops, the percentage of murders that were solved in 2019 was only 50.3%. and that was the highest it had been in years. As for rape cases, the amount of cases that are solved is even lower. It was at about 32% nationwide in 2017. And to be completely blunt, sometimes the cops are the murderers and the rapist. If you get assaulted by the police, you can't go to the police for help. We should probably work towards a justice that center the victim, not leave in the hand of Dexter with the Blue Lives Matter flag. If you are not our usual viewer, you may ask, well, what about good cops? The good cops usually quit. Time and time again, cops who realize the high amount of corruption in their departments and try to bring it to light and change the system from within are either fired or become so frustrated that they quit. If you want to help people and wear a cool costume, become a superhero or a firefighter or a dominatrix, or literally just go outside and plant a tree. Don't join a group of people defending an unjust state. When the police are directly tied to white supremacy and protecting the interests of the rich, no amount of diversity training would have prevented the deaths of Eric Garner, Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Daunte Wright, and countless others. In the interest of the common man, Left Nite supports the calls of organizers around the country to defund and then abolish the police. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, Zach here. I want to talk to you about our sponsor today, which is the vaccine. You gotta take the vaccine. It's good for you. I know a lot of people are scared, but I just got it done, and I want to just let everybody know it is extremely easy. I got my first shot. I had to find the place. It was not easy to find it, but once I found it, there was a guy in there. He got me all set up. He got me, the shot in the arm. People were like, oh, it hurts. I mean, the needle hurts a little at first, but then, after that, it feels pretty good. It's fine. It's a very chill atmosphere. They're not rushing you out of there. You can take your time, make sure you see how you react to the vaccine, and you start to feel pretty good, like your body's, fighting off these issues, and it's pretty chill overall. And the first time you do it, you think it's going to cost money, but it's actually free. But then they say that if you want more, then it's going to cost more the next time. And they let you have as much as you want, but you got to pay for it. But you feel real good, and you know what? I'm saying this all out loud right now, and I'm realizing that I didn't get a shot of the vaccine. That was heroin. I got injected with heroin, and that's why it feels so good. So I don't know about the vaccine. You should probably still take it, but unfortunately, we're not brought to you by the vaccine this week. We're brought to you by heroin. So I'm gonna go record a seminal album.
Man, the FBI might be on our tails this week for advocating opiate use.
Yeah. Well, no, they're fine with that. I mean, they're the ones who move it, so they're.
Yeah, that's true. They'd be on our tails because we're like cutting away from the profits that they have, because they got some guys set up in Afghanistan and they want to corner that market, to save the woman from the Taliban. That's why we need to sell heroin.
Funny you should mention Afghanistan, because that's something we could talk about this week. We are leaving Afghanistan on 9/11/2021.
Wait, we're actually leaving Afghanistan?
I mean, that's what Biden says. The worst people in the world, like Bill Kristol and Max Boot, are extremely upset about it. So if they're upset about it, it's got to be at least like somewhat good, right?
I'm just surprised that we're actually leaving. Okay, so like, I don't know what the age demographic is of our viewers from home, but like, we've been in Afghanistan for almost over 2/3 of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really make sense to me as like a 10-year-old to why we were there. It's like 9/11 happened, and then people were like, Osama bin Laden is Saudi. But Al Qaeda might be in Afghanistan. Also, the Taliban are bad. So let's go. But yeah, that's wild. Also, because we've kind of made a mess there. So
real bad.
Good luck to Afghanistan is what I'm going to say. Good luck.
By a number of measures, something like 100,000 civilians have been killed because of the war in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nothing. The Taliban, who we were supposedly there to get rid of, are back in charge again.
I think some of them are in Pakistan now and like neighboring areas.
Right. There's just, I mean, nobody. Anti-American sentiment is at as high as it ever was. It's truly a big imperialists posting their L's.
God.
Just a real like, what a stupid country.
Yeah. To be clear, we're talking about us.
Yeah. No, I have nothing against the Afghani people. There's a very nice Afghani restaurant in Alston.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, that's okay. I do love, no liberal, but I do love like food from that region, like Iranian, Pakistani, and like right in between them is Afghanistan, and I'm guessing I'd like that food. But anyway, less about the food of Afghanistan, more about the people. Yeah, I do think we should have never been there. It would be great if we could leave without any negative repercussions. There probably will be some. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do other than not going there in the first place. But if
it's incredibly just an incredibly stupid thing. That is just, you have to just believe that America just like brings this sort of amorphous idea of freedom wherever they go, and their guns shoot freedom out of it, and the bombers drop freedom on people. Like, you have to have that sort of toddler brain to assume that anything that America is going to do in a country like Afghanistan is good and useful.
Yeah.
And and people like to compare it to, because obviously people have talked about this, about how Afghanistan has been sort of the dying point for a number of empires over history. I think that's where Alexander the Great got stopped, was trying to go through Afghanistan.
Makes sense.
And obviously the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan, which is not what American history books will tell you, because it's a little more complicated, just because the ruling government of Afghanistan requested Soviet help to deal with the what was like the proto-Mujahideen. And then we armed the Mujahideen, and then the movie Rambo 3 is dedicated to the Mujahideen. But needless to say, that was that the military spending did help lead to the fall of the Soviet Union. And now America, if only we were as good as the Greek Empire or the Soviet Union, that we would have the decency to curl over and die after our failure in Afghanistan.
I mean, we might be doing that slowly but surely. Yeah, I think it's wild that we were all about giving the Taliban arms because we hated Russia, and then like what was it, like 15 years later we were like, oopsie, oops,
yeah.
These guys don't like us anymore.
Right.
God.
Very, 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 just very stupid. It's the only thing you can call it without me just getting like viscerally angry, is to just say it is very stupid.
Yeah.
It is so stupid.
I remember last year towards the beginning of the pandemic, so long ago, many centuries ago, I read the Afghanistan Papers. I think that was released by the Washington Post. And it kind of goes through the war in Iraq. It's like a many part series. And I read the first one and I just like felt such a deep sense of despair. Like it was like, the US is in Afghanistan. Most people in the military don't really know what we're doing. We're like saying we're like against this one group and then giving them like money or arms with the other hand. Like it's very complicated, and I think it's obvious that like, you know, the US didn't really understand that much about like Afghanistan, you know, the politics of Afghanistan.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
is there any good news this week? So we talked about police brutality. We talked about imperialism. Anything?
Yeah, we didn't even. What's funny? It's not funny. It's sad. Is that we didn't even get to cover all of the police brutality stuff because just more stuff keeps happening. Like there was a new video that came out from Chicago today.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The video of the kid that they shot in Chicago. The video came out.
Okay, because there was a kid who was shot in Maryland too.
Yes.
These are two separate kids.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, there was definitely someone in Chicago because everybody's least favorite mayor, Lori Lightfoot, was out talking today, and everybody was mad.
Lori Lightfoot is she is not the greatest representation for Black lesbians. I cannot believe I share a sexuality and a race with that woman. Yeah, she.
There's only one way you get to be in charge, and it's by being awful.
You're so right. Like, no, and like, she broke a glass ceiling. I wanted to remain intact. Like maybe I wonder what happened to Lori Lightfoot. Maybe she got like turned down by a really hot girl, and then she was like, "I'm going to become mayor of Chicago, increase the police budget by an unprecedented amount." Like that was her like Joker story.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah,
that can't be worse than Rahm Emanuel. It's like, yeah, you're about as bad as Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, you're not great. You know, that's like comparing like rotten tuna and rotten anchovies. I mean, like it can't be worse than rotten tuna. It's like,
either way.
Yeah, so that's not good.
So this is sort of on, if we want to get into sort of neutral territory, they're talking about expanding the Supreme Court.
I did see that. You're putting in a bid to be a judge, right?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that.
Thing, as we know, the Constitution's stupid and I hate it. But one little thing that happens to be in there is that as far as Supreme Court justices, now, and people have been talking about how there's no set number. That's sort of just a thing. And there are no rules on who can be a judge.
Hell yeah.
Anybody can be a judge. Famously, Elena Kagan was never a judge before becoming a Supreme Court justice. She was the dean of Harvard Law and a solicitor general. But this point still stands. She was never a judge.
Yeah.
I was never a judge or a lawyer. And they always talk about like different like representation on the court of, you know, to make sure there's people of different backgrounds and stuff like that. How about a non-lawyer?
You're so right. Yeah.
How about a true himbo with no understanding of the law who's just kind of winging it? That is an unrepresented group.
You're right. I think we need more Italian representation on the court as well. Because since Alito died, we need to get those numbers up for Italians. I'm
going to bum you out, but Alito is still there. Scalia.
Oh, which one died? Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. They're also, the way that you feel about Lori Lightfoot is how I feel about these dirty, no good paisans, Leah and Alito. They are bad. They're bad at being Italian. They're bad Catholics. I don't.
Bad Catholics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to get the Pope to like excommunicate them? Oh my God.
Let's see if he gets my letters.
Okay. I was going to say "Ay Dios mío." That's not fucking Italian. That's Spanish. I grew up in a town that was like literally 50% Italian. I still do not understand the ways of your people.
I think what you're thinking of is Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, that Supreme Court is neutral.
Right.
It's not as sad as imperialism and constant oppression from the police. Is there any happy news?
Well, I mean, the bummer of that is it's almost definitely not going to happen because Nancy Pelosi says that she's not going to put it on the floor.
Another Italian that's disappointing. Yeah.
Another bit. Oh my gosh.
Your people are taking the L's.
What is it with Italians right now?
I don't know.
Also, I only barely saw this. Did you see something about how like Nancy Pelosi said she was ready to fight the people who were storming the Capitol?
She's like really like I'm not even saying this to be mean. I'm not going to be one of those like they're old, they're stupid. She's like kind of fragile. She's what? She's like, wait, how old is she?
Old.
She was born in 1940. Yeah, she's like, what is that?
In her 70s.
Yeah, she girl, take some calcium and sit down. Like, don't
you can't even bring something to a vote. You can't even bring the Senate the Supreme Court thing to a vote, and you're gonna fight people with
like girl, don't do all of that. I'm looking on Wikipedia. Fun fact: her last name means Harry.
Harry, okay.
Yeah.
Nancy Harry.
Nancy Hirsute Pelosi. What else is going on this week?
I mean, it's kind of old at this point, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it, so
okay.
But I'm bringing it up. Dead royals.
Oh, true. He did die. You're right. Prince Philip is dead. Motherfucker.
Nothing. I got nothing for Prince Philip.
Motherfucker died at the age of 99.
Yes.
It took me so long to realize that Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth are like related. They're cousins. Mm-hmm. And I knew like in the 1700s and like 1800s that all the royals in Europe were related, but I thought they like calmed down on that incest shit. But nah, this dude married his cousin and then was racist for like 60 years, like 70 years. And then
I didn't know about, like, obviously I knew he was racist. Like there was no way he wasn't racist, like in both sort of like personally and like in terms of the structure of everything that he part of. But I didn't realize that like he just spent 40 years just bumbling around to different countries and just being like, so do you eat humans here? Like, just an incredibly stupid racist man who like people cried when he died.
I don't get it. I mean, I don't think I'd cry if any president died.
No.
I know America doesn't have royalty, but like I don't get it.
It's bad. I'm because my Italian heritage has so disappointed me. This week I am shifting over and being full Irish right now.
Are you part Irish too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm from New Jersey. I'm Irish and Italian.
Wait, what? I know people who are from New Jersey who are neither. Wait, how Irish are you? If you had to pasta versus potato, what percentage?
Oh, I'm 50% potato.
Okay.
And 25. It's complicated because my stepdad is very Italian, so like that there's a whole other part of it there. But I'm 25% pasta, and then I guess 25% kielbasa.
You're pulling.
Yeah.
Wait, you're pulling a Robert De Niro on the people of Left Night. Okay, everyone look this up. Robert De Niro is just 1/4 Italian, but everyone thinks he's like the peak Italianist motherfucker. You are pulling a Robert De Niro on these good people.
Okay, wait a second. Hold on. First of all, my last name is Jones, so nobody is fooled. Nobody thinks it's like Jonesetti or something. Like, I'm leaving it there.
That's true.
Yes, and second, that's not. I don't know if that's fair to me because I grew up surrounded by a lot of loud Italian people, so I picked up a lot of that affectation just by being surrounded by it. So culturally, I'm Italian American.
That's amazing. Also, wait, because Jones is not, I know this is supposed to be a political show, but now I'm interested in your family history. Jones is not particularly Irish, Italian, or Polish.
Yeah.
Where did someone in your family back in the day, they were like, oh, I need to blend in. Let me just call myself Jones, even though my name was like Longobardi or like,
No, it's so there are a decent number of Joneses in Ireland. So most likely at some point I had somebody who was English or Welsh moved to Ireland. But as far back as I know of my family, they were Irish. But yeah, at some point down the way, there's a hopefully Welsh. God forbid that I'm English, but. So
knock on wood.
Yes. Oh, this is becoming like what's the show on PBS with Henry Louis Gates?
Yeah, where they like do an ancestry down. Honestly, I want to know if I'm Irish. I might be fucking Irish. There's some European blood in me. Like, I mean, obviously not a lot. It's like I am seen as a Black person, obviously, but I know there's a little bit of European admixture in my genes, but I don't know where it's from. It could be from fucking anywhere. Maybe I'm Polish. Maybe possibly. We're related. I don't know.
We could be. You never know. I mean, aren't we all related in some way?
We're all one human race.
Right. Yes.
All right, Zach. Well, I'm going to leave you to make your closing remarks for the week. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's actually kind of funny that this is what we talked about in terms of family and as somebody who is from New Jersey and Irish and Italian, in my family, I do have some cops. There are police officers that I am related to, and that happens to a lot of people, and it makes a lot of people have unsure of how to deal with the issue of the police, of racial injustice, that is propagated by the police. And I struggled with it for a very long time, how to balance, the love of my family with the struggle for justice. And then I learned this really cool trick called not being a huge fucking baby. Okay, grow up. Don't be oh, you love your family. I don't fucking care. There's a whole world that we need to fix, and there are all these problems, and there's this injustice, and the struggle for fighting for justice is not going to stop for you to figure out your shit with your family. Okay, it's not just people who are related to cops. You hear the saying of, oh, my uncle's a landlord, or my grandpa is a small business owner. Are you saying that they're bad? Fuck, I don't care. I don't care if they're good people or not. The role they play in society is an unjust one, and it is an exploitative one, and what they do has to go away. It is not a personal indictment of them. Stop being a sensitive baby and either help out with the larger movement or get out of the way, you whiny piece of shit. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Zach, for that very impassioned speech regarding cops. I as someone where no one in my family is a cop, but a lot of them have had negative experience with cops, I agree. If sorry your uncle's a cop, tell him to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that is Left Night tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around for Quarantine Action Wrestling. And as a special reminder, 2MB Studios does currently have a Patreon. You could give us a little bit of money per month, sign up, and you'll get exclusive content, kind of like fun Discord hangouts. You'll also get to support some local, depending on the thing you choose, you'll also get to support some local organizations doing activist work in the community here in the greater Boston area. So sign up for that, keep watching, and we'll see you next week.